Hi everybody, how are you? This is Ume Farwa and I'm working as an active real estate consultant in Dubai. As you all know that we are going through a really different and a difficult time where we are all restricted to our houses and we are facing quarantine situation. So I am making this video basically today to explain to the homeowners or to give them a few tips about what they can do if their property is at renewal during these few months, or if it is vacant, what should they be doing. Let's take situation number one. Let's assume that your property is going to be vacant or is at renewal within this month of April. What should you be doing? My best advice to any homeowner right now would be retain your client, retain your tenant. And how would you be doing it? Try to speak to the tenant and ask him why does he want to move, whether he is not happy about the rental, whether he is maybe moving to a bigger apartment or whatever the situation may be. But there are 60 to 70% chance that the tenant is moving out of your property because he sees cheaper properties around, or he sees that the rent has gone down and there is a need for negotiation. But looking at the current situation and the market at the moment, rent has come down and it is the time to be flexible. And your best chance to keep the return on from whatever property you have is that you retain that tenant by negotiating with him about the rent. Now, how do you negotiate with the tenant about it? Obviously, as I told you, the first step is you try to get into a conversation. If you are directly dealing with the tenant, you can definitely speak to him directly. If you're speaking to the tenant through one of your property consultants, please engage them in this negotiation process and communicate to the tenant that he is of value to you and you really want to retain him because he's been a good tenant over the whatever number of years he's there in the apartment. And also, in case he gets a little soft and he wants to negotiate as well, it's a really good thing for you as a homeowner. If you can just retain by reducing a little bit of rent here and there. You can offer him different kind of perks. You can give him a rebate of 1 month rent free, maybe some kind of charges to be waived off, maybe a renewal fee to be waived off, or whatever perk you can give them to retain them, because this will really help you in the current coming 2 months. It's really difficult because of the restriction of the movement and all. There are not a lot of viewings actually happening until or unless people are really desperate to move out of the property. So tip number one, please retain your tenant, negotiate with him and try to keep him in the apartment. Now let's talk about situation number two. Let's assume that your property is currently vacant and you want to immediately rent it. So my tip would be engage an area specialist. Believe me, if you do this, 60 to 70% of your work is already done and there is a very big chance that your property will be rented rather than staying vacant for the next 2 months. Now, I'll ease the process for you. You must be thinking, how would I find an area specialist? Let's assume that your property is located in Dubai Sports City and you want to know who specializes in that particular area. Let me give you the little bit of a tip on that. There are different property portals. Go online, check Property Finder, check Dubizzle, check Bayut, and these are the leading portals in property search in Dubai. So just go there and select. There are several different filters. Just select which particular area your property is located in and then see which company has listed most number of verified listings, which has complete details and authentic pictures and everything, a really good quality of listing. So by that you can approach that particular company as well, and most of the times you can also approach that particular broker as well. If you want to engage more than one real estate consultant, you can definitely keep your listing open for 3 different brokers, but those must be the specialized brokers in that area. The reason I'm telling you to list it with a specialized broker or an agent is because they will have a better grip on the inventory, and they will have always have, you know, people who are specializing in a particular area, they always keep gathering pictures of that area, and they have you know, pictures of the insides of the apartments, interiors and all. And sometimes, you know, in this situation, for example, nobody can go to your apartment to, you know, take the picture and all. You might need just one visit, get the apartment open, take really nice pictures of the property, or let the agent come in and take really nice pictures of your property and make a really good video of it, so that in case they cannot come, or they cannot, you know, frequently come visit or show the property, at least if somebody is coming walk-in, you know, they can arrange a viewing accordingly if there is a walk-in client. So there is a higher chance that your property will get better highlight. And obviously people who are listing properties on different kind of property portals like Property Finder and Bayut and Dubai, they have a better chance of potential, you know, attracting potential renters. So tip number 2, please engage a property specialist, an area specialist, to list your property for rent or for sale. So let's discuss the tip number 3. Tip number 3 is very simple actually, and it's just be flexible with any kind of offers that you're receiving during this period of time. Once you have engaged an area specialist and you have discussed with him in detail what is the urgency of the situation, and that you really want your property to be prioritized on different portals that they are advertising the property on. Maybe in Property Finder there are really different options like verified listing, like another kind of listing is a premium listing, and there is features, and all the different property portals, they have these special highlights to the property. And if your property is being prioritized by the particular real estate broker, then it must show on top. So you can discuss this with the real estate agent. This is how you want your property to be prioritized, so that he can, you know, it can engage more traffic. So this is one thing. And plus, being flexible means that you have to be open to the offers that you're receiving during this, because in these times, you know, it's very rare to get a lot of offers. You might be getting a few handful of offers at the moment, and the offers which are coming at this point of time is really genuine and serious. So be flexible with them, give them options. If you are somebody who was renting before at 1 or 2 checks, please be open to 4 to 6 checks, because this also is going to be a norm in the market, looking at the rental trends in the market at the moment. So please be open to 4 to 6 checks. And if you want a higher rent, obviously you have to increase the number of checks. Try to ease the tenant in a way where you can take care of a little bit of a fee. Maybe you can offer him some kind of a rebate on utility charges, or some kind of a rebate on some procedural charges. Let's suppose if there is HRE fee, and you know, things like that, where you can attract and make a, you know, really good looking package for the new coming tenant. So let me wind up the whole discussion and give you a summary of what we discussed. If you are a homeowner and your property is vacant or is at renewal right now, what all you have to do? Tip number 1 was retain your tenant. Negotiate with him and try to retain him. Tip number 2 is, in case your property is now vacant and you have to rent it, please engage an area specialist and help him create the right package for you in terms of attracting the new tenant. Tip number 3 was, please be flexible. And this is all for today. If you have any kind of questions, I am on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can always drop a message to me and we can discuss it further. You can also list your properties with me. I work in Dubai Sport City, Arjan, JVC and JVT, most of the Dubai land area. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message as well. Thank you guys. Bye.